Hey everybody, welcome back to the Martial Arts Edge. If you don't know who I am Coach Larry, and I am going to be teaching you some basic bow staff techniques today. It is fun, so let's get started. All right, now before you do anything with the bow staff, the first thing you have to have is a solid grip. The grip on the bow is you want to have your right palm up and your left palm down. Now in the beginning techniques, your hands rarely change. They pretty much don't switch. They stay in this position. So you don't want to have an iron grip on it because your bow is going to be too rigid. But you don't want to have like a loose, like limp grip. This would be bad. Somebody hits it, it'll pop right out of your hand. So I think a good rule of thumb is to make sure your finger, your first finger and your thumb stay connected. As long as that happens, you're going to have some good strikes with the bow and good mobility with it. So this is the grip you're going to have. Right palm up, left palm down, and you're going to divide the bow almost into 3 equal sections. Alright, so the very first strike that you're going to learn with the bow staff is something called a forward strike. Now, a forward strike utilizes in traditional martial arts something called a front stance. And the front stance is where I step forward with one foot and I bend my front knee. This is an interesting stance, but if you think about the purpose of the bow staff is to get distance. And if I'm putting my body forward, this allows me to get as much forward distance as possible. This is a front stance. My front knee is bent, my back leg is straight, and I'm putting a lot of forward pressure, okay? So this is a good front stance. If you notice, if I start here, notice my distance. As I step forward, I get several feet closer or towards my target, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking to close distance with this particular strike. So now that you understand a front stance and the purpose of a front stance, which is to get closer, now we're going to amplify that with the bow. Remember, right palm up, left palm down. If I'm moving towards somebody right now, if I was moving towards you on screen, if I just kept my bow here flat against my body, you would quickly be able to get in, and then we're in this power struggle. We don't want that. So I'm going to put up a defensive position first. If I put the bow up like this and I'm aiming the tip at you as I move forward, you're probably not going to be able to get in. So this is the first step on a forward strike. I'm going to do it on an angle here so you can see. So I bring the bow up, punch your ear, and point the tip where you want to go. Now whatever ear I'm connected to, that's the leg that's stepping out. I'm going to step out into a good front stance, and as I do this, watch my hand. This hand will travel in a straight line forward, and I will punch with the bow. The bow is just an extension of your own body. There's nothing magical about it, and there's nothing dangerous about it. What makes it dangerous is you and the intent that you have. So from here, hand comes up, step forward, and punch straight out. It's a punch, a punch. Now if you notice my left hand, my grip loosens up. I don't let go. My grip loosens up and I slide it to my belt. This is called basing. When I base the weapon to me, I'm connecting it. I'm giving it an anchor point, and that's what I want. So from here, 1, step, 2, hand slides down, and I'm anchoring it to my side. Now the bow is a part of my body. If I move, the bow moves with it. My hand is rotated over. I don't have it like this, because if I hit something with the tip and the weak part of my grip is right here, if I hit, boom, it'll come right off. So you rotate with this grip. Just like if I was punching forward, this is my grip, okay? So again, from here, so you can see my hand movement. From here, I come up, point the bow forward, step forward with my front foot, and then punch straight up. This is nice and tight to my body, and I make sure I rotate my wrist. Faster, it's here. It's 1, 2, come back. 1, 2. Now, you can lift your leg if you want to. This is a nice, cool little effect that makes it look really neat. As I go to strike, as this comes back, my knee will lift. 1, 2, and I strike out. This is a good, solid forward strike. And notice the distance that I'm getting on this. I'm getting double what I would on my punch, okay? So from here, step up and out, just like that. I'll do it on this side so you can see. Starting in just a standard ready position. From here, comes up, 1, 2. Nice rotation, base this to your body. Come back here, 1, 2. Breathe as you do it. 1, 2. Good, strong strike. Now on every strike, just like if I was punching, I want to make sure I'm breathing. Breathing is super important. All right, so moving on from that forward strike, we're going to add another strike. The difference is that this strike is kind of like a 2-for-1. The next 2 strikes are going to be like that. So get into our good ready position, right palm up, left palm down, and make sure that you connect those fingers, okay? So from a good ready position where my right palm is up, my left palm is down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into that good forward strike, just like I did before. Okay? And you can see from here, as I step forward, my hand travels from my cheek to my destination. I don't chop it. You don't want to chop. You want it to come straight out. 1, 2. Good. Now, from here, I'm going to bring my left hand up. See how I'm sliding in the bow? And then I'm going to do what we call an up-down strike, where I come up and then down. Just like that. 1, 2. Now I'm going to my left side. Left side. All right, now a little safety tip with this. Whenever I'm striking, I want to make sure that I'm directing the bow to where it's not going to hit me. I'm not hitting on my collarbone or on my shoulder. I'm hitting to the outside of my arm here. So I'm just taking my hand to my elbow, okay? Here. And then underneath my armpit. 1, 2. 1, 2. Just like that. So from that forward strike, up, out. 1, 2. Now notice, from here, my left hand has to travel back up the bow. I'm going right to about my ready position grip. 1. This helps me get distance. If you do it like this, you're going to have a little nub out there. That's not cool. So you bring this in. Now, I like my right hand about where my elbow is. So that's where I direct it. I'm thinking my right hand goes to my elbow. See? And then this is right here. And if I do this right, my left hand is at my right elbow. Okay? So 1, 2. That's an up-down strike because it's coming up, down. Now, the goal of the bow is to move fast, stop fast. This shows good control with the weapon. So as I'm here, stepping out, forward strike. 1, 1, 2. Notice it moves fast, but it stops fast. It doesn't do this. It's not that. 1, 2. 1, 2. Move fast, stop fast. That's the goal. So practice that. That is an up-down strike. All right, so another basic strike. If we have an up-down, we now have to learn a side-side. And this is pretty simple. We're just working on the basic directions of a strike. So the first one comes straight out. Boom. The second one comes up. Third one comes down. Now we're going to go side, side. So we're just going to travel on all different directions. Straight, up, down, side, side. That's it, okay? So from here, good grip with the bow. Right palm up, left palm down. You'll hear me say that a lot because it's super important. Most of the time when you get messed up with your strikes, it's because your hands have changed. And when your hands change, it makes striking a little bit difficult. So remember, right palm up, left palm down, okay? So from here, forward strike, come straight out. I have my up, down, 1, 2, and then I have my side, side, and all I do is I push and pull. Push with my left, pull with my right, and then push and pull. Boom. Now notice when I strike, I'm turning my body. I'm not just doing this. Because if I do this, did I hit anybody? No, I got to turn it. I want to make sure the tip of my bow goes all the way past my center line. And then I'll do it again. Here, here's my center line right here. I just go past it. Past, just like that. That is a side strike. So from an angle, so you can see, forward strike, boom, up, down, side, just like that. Very easy strike to do, and I want you to practice it. One way you can practice this basic strike is to take a piece of tape and put it on the wall, or put it on a mirror, or put it on something where it's going to give you something to aim at. And then what you do is you aim the front part of the bow, the tip, at that piece of tape the entire time. And as you do this, up, down, side, you just want to get the tip of the bow aiming at that piece of tape. Does that make sense? If you do that, you'll start developing some skill in controlling your weapon to a very precise point. Alrighty, there you have it. That is your basic strikes with the bow staff. Now, there's more strikes to learn. Don't worry, there's plenty more to learn. I'm going to go over all of it with you. Now, I have an extensive bow staff series that I'm putting together. I'll put the link to that playlist up here, and it'll also be in the description. Please make sure you check that out if you're wanting to learn more, especially if you're wanting to learn some spins and some figure eights, reverse figure eights, even some releases. The bow staff is a fun, really fun weapon that you can learn. It's actually one of the most popular weapons you can learn in sport karate, especially in the tournaments. I highly recommend getting into it because it's just going to make you that much more aware of your own body. To be able to have a weapon, to perform with a weapon, to understand the mechanics of it, it will only help amplify your understanding of your own body mechanics, because the weapon is just an extension of your own body. So the more you understand how you work with this, the better you understand how you work, which is going to help all areas of your martial arts, which is why I highly recommend getting into some type of weaponry. And like I said before, if you were looking for a good bow staff, it doesn't matter if you go with graphite or if you go with a wood bow. I just highly recommend that you get something that feels right for you and that is going to last. I love this graphite two-tone bow, and it doesn't even have to be two-tone. I love the graphite because it's heavy enough and light enough. It's a perfect weight for how I spin it, but also durable enough that if I drop it or if I do a really hard strike, it's not going to snap. I've seen normal ash bows, I've seen oak bows. When you get a really good forward strike or a really good underarm strike, reverse strike, when we start learning reverse, that it'll actually break or crack, which could become dangerous. So I never have broken a graphite bow. Okay, I highly recommend this one, and it's not that much more expensive than a normal wood bow. So if you're looking to pick up a nice weapon, something that's inexpensive, is a good investment, but inexpensive, put it down. I'll put a link in the description. Please check out that store and just look into the weapons, and you can find a number of different bow staffs that will fit your need. And as always, if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. It helps YouTube see that we're doing a good job, and it's going to push the material more. It really helps me out. And if you aren't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and ding that bell. That way you can be notified of all the new videos that I come up with. All right, so keep training, train smart, and I'll see you in the next video.